I'm live right now. All right, I am live now. Just waiting for a couple people to just jump right on. Hey, I guess I can kind of start on topic and everything. All right, so I'm seeing all these little comments going on the Facebook thing. But anyways, I'm gonna start on everything. At least there's one person listening, which is yourself, Lucian. So I'm just gonna go on about everything. Everybody else can follow suit afterwards. Hey, Opal. Okay, so I'm going to start what I have been taught personally. There's more than one way to do this, at least I feel, unless it comes to collecting cemetery dirt. So, at least in my tradition of what I practice with the Afro Cuban stuff, I was taught at least with this botched house of Palo, which wasn't truly Palo. That when you collect dirt from anywhere except the cemetery, you're digging a little bit of a hole and you're grabbing dirt and you have to replace something and fill up that hole as an exchange, usually some coins and some brown sugar. Sometimes people give coins and toasted corn as well. Now I'm going to talk about what we do with going to the cemetery. So I'm going to talk about grabbing cemetery grave dirt, okay? And there's proper etiquette for how you enter the cemetery and what you do. It's always recommended to always be wearing light colors. I'm not sure the reasoning behind the brown sugar. That's what I was taught in Palo, so that's something I'm gonna have to ask my Padrino Juan. Yeah, it's a form of offering, definitely. It's giving back to the earth, basically, of what you are taking from it. Um, so when you're entering the cemetery, you wanna cover your head. You preferably want to wear light colored clothing all the time because black, we say, um, absorbs negative energy, right? So you don't want to be carrying that kind of energy. So you'd probably cover your head with like a white hat. You can put con inside the hat as you're wearing that, and because your head is sensitive, right? And you don't want anything negative to try to cover it. Your ori is exposed, right? So um you always want to cover your head because your head is sensitive. It's like it's your crown, right? The crown chakra, all that kind of stuff, right? But it's okay. I prefer the questions to go to the end, just like Lucian was saying. But I will answer any questions at the end. So you enter the gate of the cemetery, and you're basically going to say the reason why you're entering and everything like that, speaking to the gate, and you're going to throw in 9 coins or coins equal to the number 9. Okay. And then you're going to enter, and then, you're probably looking for a grave. So you're going to look for a grave that speaks to you. And what I would do is I'd bring a wide variety of offerings, so like cigars, rum. You can bring some soda. You can bring some sandwiches. You can bring wine with your by yourself. And what you're gonna do is, I mean, it depends what level you are as a medium. But if you're not really um, confident in what you're doing, I would bring like a pendulum and then ask if the certain spirit at the grave is willing to exchange with you some of their graveyard dirt and work for you for elevation prayers. In return, if you give them like rum or tobacco, and you can like pour the rum over their tombstone, or like right on the ground, basically at the foot of their tombstone, and leave the cigar. And you can also light the cigar up too, and like blow the cigar smoke on the tomb. And after you've established that you're going to grab the dirt and you're going to exchange whatever it is, or you're going to exchange like the rum, the tobacco, etc. Hey, Richie in the woods. Then you can grab that dirt from the tombstone, right? The grave. And you want to write some information that's like crucial, like the name of the spirit and everything. You're going to offer them prayers and stuff, because these are earthbound spirits that need elevation. So as you elevate them, the more there's more work they can do for you, right? And you take that I was going to say, you're going to take that dirt, you're going to put it into a jar. You can light candles to them, dedicate a glass of water in their name. And then you start prayers of elevation. You start every day for 9 days after they've started doing the work for you and everything like that. You can light them incense. You can give them food offerings and stuff like this. You start with the water glass like right on the floor. Then the next, and you do the prayers out of the collection of selected prayers book by Allan Kardec. And there is a revised edition by Candida Sigual. And you would do like, prayer for the recently departed. I'm going to say prayer for the recently departed. Our Father, Hail Mary, prayer for the sick, prayer for the guardian spirits and protectors, prayer to distance negative spirits, and any other prayers you think that would be crucial to use to elevate the spirit that you got from the cemetery. I also forgot one crucial point too. When you leave the cemetery, also you have to leave 9 coins as well, or coins equal to the number of 9 when you end up leaving as well. It's very important. And thank the gatekeeper for keeping you safe and to keep behind any negative spirits or spirits that may try to follow you out of the cemetery, So this is really important. I mean, I have 9 spirits in the cemetery. I haven't really worked them much. I felt them very protective as of recent when I gave them a glass of water and I've been elevating them. With my disorganization, I forgot all their names and everything, so that's just lovely. But I know that they're definitely helping me the more that I help them, right? So there's a lot you can do with spirits, so that you can help them to help you get a job, etc., and see what they're good for. Now, if you could in some instances grab, like, let's say, dirt from a married couple, but you'd have to ask them if I was gonna say, you have to ask if they had a good marriage, if it was happy, if it was well bonded. And you could grab dirt from a married couple and use graveyard dirt for love. So it all depends, dirt from a banker. People who die are not going to be any more wise or anything than what they were in their human existence, right? So keep that in mind. They're not all enlightened as soon as they die. I always thought that was the case, but that's a big misconception we usually make. So that is what I'd like to tell you. Also, what you can do to further protect yourself. I was going to say, to further protect yourself when you're going to a cemetery is to make a 7 ribboned colored or a 9 colored ribbon that's prepared with prayers, and that are, usually an Our Father, a Hail Mary, and just prayers from the heart. And you braid the 9 or 7 colored ribbons, and then you tie it at the end, and you can tie like a wristband for yourself so you don't pick up negative energies. Now let's talk about the different dirts and their uses. Okay, good point, Lucian. There is technically a difference in cemetery dirt and graveyard dirt. if I remember correctly, cemeteries have like was a graveyard, I believe, is connected to a funeral house or funeral home. A cemetery is not. So that's the only difference between the two of them when I was researching earlier. Or it might be the other way around. I think cemetery, I'm like 98% positive cemetery has no funeral home, and a graveyard has a cemetery has a funeral home, sorry, connected to it. I was gonna say, right. So graveyard dirt, technically that is just used for a wide myriad of what the use of the spirit is used for. I mean, technically you can use any spirit, you could pay them off, you could be dirty and you could use them to attack someone and stuff. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, but it depends the situation, right? Always, I'm not going to play like devil's advocate or what's the right thing to do, but I mean, I like to use spirits personally to do the work to protect me more than anything, right? Because they're more in this material world and they can protect me from other spirits. um Crossroads dirt, you can use it to open your opportunities, your roads, and everything in life. And you can use to close the roads of opportunities that you don't want negative things to come into your life. You can use it to close the roads of other people. You can use it to open the roads of other people. What is road opening? Road opening is basically allowing more opportunities to come into your life or the target's life. When things are not happening in the way that they're supposed to happen in your life, I would consider that you are crossed, that you have your opportunities not coming and your roads are closed, right? If they're open, everything's running smoothly, you have opportunities, you have success in life, etc., right? So that's that. Then there's like bank dirt you can get. Obviously it's for money, but money goes in and out of a bank, right? So if you want to have money, it's probably better to get money from a business because money's always consistently going into a business, right? What else is there for dirt? What am I missing here? There's crossroads, there's graveyard, there's bank dirt. Any ideas of another one? Lucian Ivy missing. That's really famous, pretty much. There's like dirt from the beach. Um, you can use it to put like more elemental force behind. I was gonna say behind clearing things away. You could use dirt from a river um, to bring in more sweet things into your life, more prosperity and stuff too. There's dirt from a palm tree, you know. That usually is pretty good. Railroad dirt, good point, good point. Railroad dirt, that's a lot like Mars, Saturn energy, I guess. I'd say more Mars than anything, right? So railroad dirt. You can use that for acts of aggression. You can use that for protection. You can use that to heavily break obstacles. Oh man, let me just look up like different dirts here, so I don't lose track of anything. Because there's dirts you can get like from your home and stuff too to protect yourself. Magical dirts. I'm just looking right now as I'm talking to you guys. Okay, there's a blog here. I'm trying to see here. Someone said cleansing apparently, which I think is really strange. It's looking, it's loading. Yeah, there's a lot of dirts you can use. I'm just trying to think here. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. There's dirt from a courthouse. You would use that for we don't use moon phases for collecting dirt because that's more of like a Wiccan European thing. This is more like hoodoo and African traditional stuff. So I was talking about dirt from a courthouse. I was just thinking, I was jogging my memory. Um, You can use dirt from a courthouse to get somebody into jail or get somebody out of jail, that kind of thing too. Dirt from a prison, get somebody in jail, get somebody out of jail. Let's see what's going on here with this wonderful website. Oh my god, why is it going so slow? Cleansing. Banishing. Oh, it's not even talking about the kind of dirts you could use. Wow, that's crapola. It's okay, Lisa. Hey, I'm trying to think. So there's also you can get dirt from a dog park. So it's like that fighting aggressive energy to have somebody be broken up basically when they're like in partnership. You can do that too. What else is there dirt of? I can't think. I'd have to ask Bree, but that's the ones I can think of right now, like businesses, um, courthouse, graveyard dirt, crossroads dirt, um, beach, woods. Oh yeah, there's the woods too. You get dirt from the woods as well, you know. Um, that I think would be more to like call upon more like elemental type energy. Of course, it's also the energy where like Ogun and Ochosi live is in the woods, and yeah, that'd be good energy to do a lot of stuff too. I'm not entirely sure what you would use it for more than just, I guess you could say, justice work and other things too, to lay things to rest, basically with the woods. Um, so that brings up a lot of good questions for me too. Like, what would you use dirt from the woods for? You know. Um, but I think that's about the most of it. Does anybody have any questions right now about dirts and their uses and proper etiquette of how they've been do that? Yeah, you could grab dirt from a battlefield or locations of other events like that. Definitely, like there's like things we get sometimes, um, like dirt from a house that burnt down. Like that's some crazy ass energy right there. You know what I'm saying? So you can get dirt from like a fallen soldier, dirt from almost anything, everything you can get dirt from. You know what I'm saying? So it's all like it's that energy you want to get from that event, hospital, bank, courthouse. Yeah, you get it from a bank, like I said earlier, the courthouse, a hospital. You probably use hospital dirt. I don't, even though hospital um could be healing. If you get dirt from a mental hospital, you could use it to mess somebody up. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends the vibration of the place that you're gaining it from, the events that took place and stuff, right? So yeah, that makes sense. Post office to receive and send messages. Yeah, exactly. Now we're really being creative. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there are the ways that I was saying to protect yourself with like the ribbons and everything like that, right? Casino for luck and gambling. Yeah, that makes sense. Casino for luck and gambling. I'd probably combine that with some business dirt, and there's other things you can do too that are like magnificent to bring money, you know. Right. So it could go both ways though about the casinos being rigged and stuff. Goofer dust. Okay. Goofer dust, from what I understand, can be used to potentially like destroy someone. Um, Basically, that's a combination of hot foot powder and cemetery dirt. And then, of course, you deploy that in such a manner where somebody's going to step on that, right? Now I know back in the day they talked about like all this contact magic with hoodoo being used to deploy things, but sometimes you can't do it. So I find you can use a sympathetic magic by distance, right? To um, affect the person. I find personally, you can have their picture and you can still do a lot with that. You can have their name, you can do a lot with that. Yeah, can be used for crossword. Oh, okay. I learned something today. I know it can be used for protection. I've always heard everyone say online that it's like to curse people. Right. Okay. Okay. I get what you're saying because I've seen it in I was gonna say I've seen it in of all shows Supernatural where they were talking about Goofer dust to protect somebody from hellhounds and stuff, which is pretty interesting. You know, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if there's anything more that I can really talk about when it comes to dirt. So if anybody has any questions, let me know now. I'm gonna wait like a minute basically, and then I'm probably gonna go off. Oh wow, that's super cool. See, at least you're teaching me stuff. Okay, ask away, Lucian. What do you want to ask? Oh, yeah, the other thing I was gonna say too is that when you come home from the cemetery, it's best to cleanse with yes. So I just lost a train of thought here. Do you ask permission to enter the cemetery before collecting? Well, you're letting the gatekeeper know what you're gonna do, and then you throw the coins as payment, and then you like go in, and then you do what you're gonna do, and then you come as you're going out, you throw the 9 coins, or the coins equal to 9, and then you leave, right? So you are like giving a heads up to the gatekeeper, like, "Hey, I'm coming here. I'm gonna be like collecting like graveyard dirt for this purpose, blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying? And then you enter, right? So, hey, Antonello. Um, so basically, what I'm getting at is why 9 coins are. Well, the 9 coins, technically, it's more of like a Lukumi thing, but 9 is a number of Oya. And we always just I've seen it as nine's a number of like the dead, basically, besides the fact of like um 9 instead of like 3 or something, right? But yeah, it's 9 coins because nine's the number of the dead. And Oya deals with the gates, right? So we out of respect to Oya, regardless of whatever tradition we're in, we give 9 coins or coins equal to 9. And I do 9 coins going in, 9 coins going out, or coins equal to the number 9. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that's what I do. Sorry, going back to what I was saying before, I lost train of thought was when you get home from the cemetery, it's very important that you cleanse yourself spiritually, just in case because of that energy and stuff, right? Even though you are letting the gatekeeper know as you're leaving, like here are 9 coins as an offering as I leave, and that I'm asking for all the spirits to be held back and not to follow me, except for the one spirit I'm leaving with, which is this dirt. Yeah, yeah. And you can. I don't know if I said this before too, but you can also pay coins to the spirit as well when you're grabbing the dirt as well from the tombstone. Right? It can be coins. It can be rum. It can be tobacco. It can be wine. Small little jam sandwiches or something like that. I would just do 9 and 9, or you could do like coins that equal to 10 cents, or 9 cents or whatever it is, right? I would do 9 coins personally, that's my thing. I do 9 coins going in, 9 coins going out, you know? So, I've never heard of using 3 coins. I'm not saying that's wrong, I'm just saying I've never heard of that before, Lucian. I would just use 9 personally. Um, any other questions, guys? Yeah, I was gonna say like 9 pennies or 9 whatever coins you have. See, here we have no pennies in Canada, so I'd have to use nickels. Um, I would do things like I mentioned in my other video, like grains, fruit, candy, um, meats, that kind of thing for cleansing. You could use spiritual baths as well, a white bath and whatnot. But yeah, you could play like 9 coins going in, like a nickel or a dime given to the spirit, or a couple coins given to the spirits. Um, and you give all your other offerings to seeing what will appease the spirit to go with you and to be elevated. Be like, I want you to come with me. I'm going to elevate your spirit. I'm going to give you prayers and everything. And be like, in exchange for all of that, I'm giving you offerings. I will maintain offerings for you. See what they all say. And then with the pendulum and everything like that, if they agree to it after you give them the offerings and grab the dirt, like I was saying. So yeah, I mean, that works. Lucian. Sure, ask away. Um, I usually just put them in like jars and stuff, basically, or I put them like on a plate. Probably like saying it's obviously not gonna break on me and go all crazy. Like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a plate that's not going to. Okay, so what I do when the banks don't have dirt, I grab dirt from like a plant or like a tree or a shrub that's like right beside the bank is what I do, and that counts because it's part of the atmosphere of the bank. So going back to Lucian with all that, what was I gonna say? How you utilize them. You can put some dirts in jars and have like a non-flammable like lid, like a metal lid, and then like light candles on top of it and stuff like different herbs and different roots and whatnot for whatever you're going to do out of a petition. What else was I gonna say? Um, I have put on a non-flammable surface, it's like metal or something like that. That's like something or rather. I would put like the dirt around of like different things. Like I'm using something for money and protection and stuff. I'd probably just like grab like the money dirt and whatever that would give me money, put different protection herbs around it and like candles in the center. You can burn a petition, all this kind of stuff, right? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So that's what I usually do. You can grab some dirts too that you've paid for. You can make like a road opening. Um, well, it depends when you want to say is the best time to go collect dirt. Like, you don't want to be obvious where there's people around you to go and see you like being like, why the hell is this person collecting dirt from the bank, right? So maybe you want to do it like for me, I find there's like any time is a good time, even if there's people around. So like I'm just very like inconspicuous when I go grab my dirt. I'd be like la 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 la. You know what I'm saying? And I just pretend that I'm just chilling while I grab the dirt. Oh, yeah, you can also grab dirt from a church. I was just thinking about too, and you can use that dirt to like protect you and to blind people from like reading you as well. Stuff like that. Yeah. My hair race. I like trying to say your hair races, and I was like, "What do you mean your hair races?" Oh, that makes no sense. And you're like, "My heart." But yeah, like I just go like anytime during the day that I find like, hey, there's not many people there. If there are people I have to get it, I just get it. Basically, there's nothing really like crazy about having to get dirt. Some things are a bit more a pain in the ass to get, like dirt from a courthouse. I mean, I would get like dirt from a courthouse, like by a tree or something like that, on the property of it. Oh, geez. Yeah. It's true. Now it's a good time to collect dirt since we're all in quarantine. That's right. Yup. Yeah, so are there any more questions and stuff going on? I'm surprised it's actually gone like over a half an hour right now. It's so cool. It's a really good topic to talk about. Yeah, so I mean I like nine dirts from like different graves and stuff like I was saying, yeah. You collect dirt for each ritual. It depends though. Like if I grab enough dirt and I label it and I put it in a jar, I know like this dirt is for business. I'll be like, okay, maybe I can do different. I can like divvy up the dirt from that one dirt I had for money or something like that. And I can be like, okay, I'm like, this is going to be used for this money ritual to bring in wealth. This is going to be used for like protection, money work, and stuff. Um, do I collect dirt in advance? Sometimes I collect dirt in advance so that I have it for myself. Obviously, I'm running low on stuff, but I literally have not grabbed dirt like in a long while, basically. There's no using it within a certain time frame because it's dirt. It's gonna still have that energy regardless. So I'm like, okay, I have this dirt, and I can just keep it stocked up and use it for when I have to use it. I think personally, dirt is dirt. You know, um, if I wanted to collect different answers, sites which are another state, but I can make use of until I go back home. Yeah, you could do that. You can get that dirt from your ancestors' sites and then bring it back home and everything, so you have it, so you get like a large amount of it. Yeah, I agree with Gypsy. It still works. You have dirt from another state or whatever, or another city. It's not going to stop working. Oh, that's smart. You let it air out. Okay. Same thing with stranger. I don't know. I usually put it like I see. I have a crawl space, right? It's like under the stairs, basically, of our place, and basically, I just store all my stuff there. I do have an altar room too, which I'm in right now. Um, yeah. So I try to keep it like somewhere out of the way where nobody's gonna like grab everything, where it's not gonna be disturbed, or it's quiet space, out of the way. All right, Lucian, go for it. Ask away, Lucian. These are actually really good questions, even though I don't believe there's a such thing as a dumb question. Different answers very powerful. How does one collect answers that they adopt and don't know? So, part of the world. Well, if you're adopted, I mean, I'd go if you're adopted lineage to grab the dirt. Your actual legit ancestors, I'm not entirely sure how you go about that. If you at least know the cemetery, but you don't know their names, you could grab dirt from the four corners of the cemetery. So like the legit four corners of the cemetery. So like right here, 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 and here, basically. And that basically can have you call upon any spirit from the cemetery, right? Um, but of course, you've got to pay the gatekeeper as you're leaving and give an offering that is appropriate for what you're grabbing of those four dirts from that cemetery. Could you collect dirt from Dave's ancestral side? Well, as long as they agree to being elevated and being given offerings and working with you, I don't see what's the problem with that. If they don't want to come with you, they don't want to come with you. That's so of course you can grab dirt from anywhere. It all depends if they're willing to come with you after you coax them with like offerings and candles and stuff. Right. That's interesting. Yeah. Taking ancestral from the four corners of the earth. But yeah, it's not like every single cemetery on the earth though. When you take from the four corners of that one cemetery, but like I said, you're grabbing they're from the four corners of one cemetery, which means you can gather any spirit to work for you. So you can be like, okay, now I have the four corner dirts of the cemetery. So what that means basically you grab like that means you have the dirt of as heinous people as there is, as good people as there is that were good of money, etc. Yeah, I get what you're saying, like symbolization. It could be like four corners of the earth, like the symbolization when you go there. But it's not actually the four corners of the earth. I know what you're saying, Gypsy. But yeah, that's the cool way you can get dirt. Do you do any of the this is a good video that Bree did on ancestral work. We don't work our ancestors because we don't want to enslave them. You know, um, when you want to work the dead, you want to use rando deads, basically, which is dirt from any grave. So the only thing I work my ancestors with is like giving me advice, elevating them, talking to them, seeing what's up that they have to tell me. You know. Rando Dads, that could be a band name. Rando Dads. I like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that is something you don't know of what you're going to get, going to any grave, but we give them elevation and light so they get their shit together and they come back and reincarnate and learn their lessons, basically. But if you grab like, yeah, but you want random dead because you don't want to enslave your ancestors, basically. That's the reason why. Yeah. I mean, everybody has shitty ancestors to some degree. Like some of them were like slave owners, slave masters, et cetera, and people don't want to venerate them, and they have issues with that. Um, but we have to put our hangups aside, basically, and forgive them, elevate them, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, you don't think you're enslaving them by working with them, but yeah, it's considered enslaving them because they're supposed to be resting as, and you're supposed to just elevate them. I'm just telling you, like, the way we understand it and what has been taught to us, like, in practice of African tradition, everything. I mean, they will work for you if you put them in attack mode on the Bovada, if you put them on defense mode, if you give them offerings so that, like, to the basic level, they will protect you and watch over you, and they'll work in that mannerism. But telling them, like, hey guys, I want to help me get a job and work for me and do all this and do all that, like, it gets to a certain point that it's like it's enslaving them. You know what I'm saying? So it's very true. Yeah. But I'm trying to think, like, if you want to have somebody messed up going after somebody, that's when you grab the four dirts from the four corners of the cemetery, and you're like, I wanna summon the biggest, baddest spirit and have them go after so and so. You know what I'm saying? I'm not advocating that, but I'm just telling you that you can use the four corner dirt of the cemetery to summon any spirits in the cemetery for whatever purpose. Okay, so basically in Lukumi, we have something called like an Egun shrine, which is like for your actual ancestors. And it's like a tile, and Babalaos give it out. And it's called Teha de Egun. And you have this corner that's usually like outside of your house, like the legit corner of a house, and you put this tile there, and you have an Agun stick, which is a stick of the dead that you have in from Ifa, right? Because Ifa gives out the Agun stick. People will say, "Oh, Luke me can do it," and Espiritizo can do it. But from my understanding, from what I've been taught, is that Ifa gives out the stick of the dead, and then you have I was gonna say you have yourself using Cascaria or Efun, which is chalk, and you're making a half moon on the corner, and you're making 9 rays of lines coming out like a sun, basically. And you put different offerings there, and so I'm not entirely sure. Like, not everyone's supposed to be doing this unless you're in the tradition, right? And you've learned from somebody on how to do this, because you can mess up doing things, right? And you have different offerings in there, like different waters, like water with brown sugar, water of cascaria, water of ephron, water with, I'm not sure what else, like honey, water of molasses. Um, and then you put a candle there, and you start like tapping the stick, and you'd be like, Ibaye Maria Vogridge, Ibaye such and such. And the person goes Ibaye after you see the name, right? And then you'd be doing the divination system to throw with the coconut pieces called obi, and you'd be able to work if you're dead that way. So That is strictly for your lineage dead and your ancestors, specifically for that corner. The Bovida technically is for only your spiritual guides. What kind of I currently have in the house? I think Bree has dirt from a leopard colony, dirt from a palm tree. I'm not sure what other dirt she has. I just have dirts from 9 graves, is all I have right now. So that's what I have. Bree has a wide variety of dirts because she's been wanting to build a spiritual pot, basically. So, and a spiritual pot will have different sticks, different dirts. It won't be enslaving the spirit, but you can still put bone in it and all this other stuff, basically. Dirt from a leprechaun. Yeah. Yeah, dirt from a leprechaun. Got that Irish influence. But yeah, so I don't know if there's any more questions. I could do that. I could do a video on the dirt on ritual and show how I use it, what the prayers I use. Yeah, there we go. I got some 4-leaf clovers there. That's a good idea. I still want to continue doing the road opening um, segment, basically. But what I use and stuff are about like good stuff to block bust. Do you know that I think chicory root's really, really good for like breaking obstacles? Soursop's good too. Look at charms. Okay. Well, I think that everyone's done with the questioning. So if anybody has any last minute questions, let me know. I'm gonna let this be open for like another minute. So like 48 minutes and then I'll go off. Hmm. Cleansing. Well, we're getting to other topics right now, but like I was saying about cleansing, some dirts you don't have to worry about. I find personally, I always say, like I said, cleansing methods: use candies, use grains. That means anywhere from like rice to like black beans, black eyed peas, lentils, etc. You can use meats, and you can cut them all up, either cooked, uncooked. Throw them into many brown paper bags that are layered, and then you cleanse and just throw in the trash. You can leave like 3 coins in the trash if you want to, because that goes to Eshu, and Eshu is in the trash can, you know? So, yeah, you can do all that, you know? You can cleanse yourself of all those methods, and it works very, very, very well. You can use fruit as well, if I haven't mentioned that as well. Cleanse of a piece of fruit, throw it in the trash, throw a couple of coins, stuff like that, you know? So, all that stuff works. Very simple. If you refer back to my video about simple methods to cleanse and everything like that on this YouTube channel, you'll see me go in detail about the things you can use. You know. Yeah, I can't throw in the trash because you can use a trash can outside, basically. That's nearest to you, like a neighbor's trash can. You know, I personally use my own trash can when I'm cleansing myself and stuff. Yeah, you usually want it. You want it in a perfect world. You want to cleanse yourself and then throw in a trash at neighbors or something like that, or in a park or something like that. Or I mean, give it back to nature. Throw it in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like that's totally fine too. You know, that all works out. But like in Luke Kumi is always somewhere you have to bring it, like bring it to the river, bring it to this, bring it to that. You find out with the reading that you get through Dilagoon or through Ifa. So yeah, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go off now. Okay, guys. I appreciate all of you. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I really appreciate all of you. I'm gonna be trying to do more videos and more comments. I mean, more videos and more info as I can. Can you see your Florida water to cleanse after you leave the center before you get home? Yes, you can definitely use sage or Florida water to cleanse yourself a little bit, but I would add some things more than just sage, basically, Lucian. You know, sage is great on the emergency situation. You want to put intent of prayers behind it. Florida water, I would try to mix it with like maybe like some sea salt, different things, like that. But yeah, I am getting to a lot of time. I mean, if you guys not that I want to just bounce, but yeah, if you guys want to keep writing questions after this live and stuff, I'll definitely answer. I have a lot of free time because of this virus thing. I think as everybody else does too. And I have a Facebook page I'm going to put here. You guys can like. I do a lot of free readings. So I can actually type this properly. It's called Readings by Ritz. I'm going to put it right here. That is my Facebook page. Yeah. So thank you all for joining. I'm going to be trying to do a lot more informative stuff. And if you guys have any topics or anything, and you've joined my Facebook page, let me know when I go do a live for readings and stuff. Or if you want to just write on my wall or send me a private message on that page about what you'd like me to do as a topic, because I'm an open book. I love to share, I love to teach. So yeah, thank you everyone. I'm signing off now. Thank you.